These days, everyone is looking to AI for quick and easy answers. There's no doubt someone has already asked Chat GPT for the best American Chinese General Tso's chicken recipe, because it is the #1 Chinese takeout favorite in the United States. I've made General Tso's chicken dozens of times, and I think my personal recipe isn't too shabby. But I know that currently there are many people today relying on Chat GPT. So the question is Chat GPT's American Chinese General Tso's chicken better than takeout? Most importantly, is it any good? Let's find out. First, Chat GPT says to marinate 500 grams of boneless chicken thighs. Start by cutting them into 1-inch pieces. 1-inch piece is a good start. When these chickens are fried, it will expand, and pieces this small will cook quicker too. Just make sure to cut them all around the same size, just close enough to ensure they all cook roughly around the same time. We're going to marinate the chicken with the usual Chinese ingredients, though some common ingredients are missing, and you'll see. First, we need an egg white. It doesn't say what size egg, but I'm assuming it's a large egg. 1 tablespoon soy sauce. 1 tablespoon Shaoxing wine. Half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of ground white pepper. And finally, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now, there are about 3 things that I would do differently. Usually there would be some oyster sauce and no salt. All of the salinity would come from the oyster sauce and soy sauce. Next, I would add this. It's Chinese rice wine. Not Chinese cooking wine, rice wine. This is powerful stuff, and you don't need a lot of it because it is strong. It adds a slight bitter taste, but bitter in a good way, contrasting the sweet and sourness of General Tso's chicken sauce. So with that said, I am just following ChatGPT's recipe. And now we mix these ingredients. ChatGPT does provide side notes, but it doesn't mention how long to mix and what to look for. This step is actually very important in Chinese cooking called velveting, a preparation technique that results in tender meats and retains juices and proteins during cooking. When I do this part with my recipe, I mix until the chicken gets extra slimy, which takes about 3 to 4 minutes of vigorous mixing with my bare hand, and then just leave it alone for 15 to 20 minutes, which is about the time it takes to put all the other ingredients together. And this is ChatGPT's dry coat ingredients. Prepare half a cup of cornstarch and half a cup of potato starch. Cornstarch and potato starch, I think, is a great combination for light and airy crunch. For my recipe though, I prefer to add a little bit of all-purpose flour too, just for more body. But again, I'm just going to strictly follow ChatGPT steps on this one. Just combine the two, whisk, and then set aside. Now we make General Tso's chicken sauce according to ChatGPT, which is missing one very important ingredient. I'll get to that later. In a mixing bowl goes 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. It does give the option for black vinegar, which is what I prefer, so I'm using that. 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon hoisin sauce, 1 tablespoon Shaoxing wine, half a teaspoon of sesame oil, 1 teaspoon cornstarch, and last, 4 tablespoons of chicken stock or water. I highly recommend chicken stock. Now, can you guess what ingredient is missing in American Chinese General Tso's chicken? If you said tomato ketchup, you're right. Ketchup gives this dish the reddish color, sweetness, and tang. Now for me, this is a huge no-no on ChatGPT's part. Bad AI, bad AI. Time to prepare the aromatics. 3 dried chilies cut into halves. I'm cutting into thirds and then some because halves is just too big. Finely minced 2 cloves of garlic. Now that's a pitiful amount of garlic for this dish, but I'll just follow along. Apparently ChatGPT has something against garlic. 1 teaspoon of ginger minced. This is also a very small amount for 500 grams of chicken. Finally, the prerequisite 2 stalks of spring onions, chopped, separating the white and green parts. All done and done. So far, ChatGPT's instructions is clear, concise, and straightforward. All the steps are numbered, and all you gotta do is follow. Overall, making General Tso's chicken at home is easy. It always was. It just takes some preparation time, but once you start cooking, it's fast. Dredge the marinated chicken in a dry starch mix until evenly coated. When that's all done, heat a large pan enough to fry these chickens. I am using canola oil. My pan is big, but I prefer frying in 2 batches. Never fry too many ingredients at one time, okay? Heat the oil to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's the old school Chinese way to tell if your oil is hot enough for frying. Stick a wooden chopstick down the center of the oil. If it fizzes on contact, the oil is hot enough. Carefully place the chicken into the hot oil. Again, I'm going to cook in 2 batches. Give it about 15 to 20 seconds before you start stirring it around. You want to give a chance for the hot oil to help that chicken form a crust. You can start moving it around to make sure that the chickens are not stick together. Each batch took about 3 to 4 minutes for me to fry to this golden color. And when they're done, place it on a wire rack to drain. But we're not done yet, okay? To make these freshly fried chicken extra crispy, we're going to double fry. According to Chat GPT, double frying is non-negotiable for crisp texture, and it is absolutely right. But before the double frying, you should let your chicken rest for 10 minutes though, okay? Even though Chat GPT doesn't mention this, it is a side note from me. We're using the same oil again for a second fry. Chat GPT says heat the oil until it gets up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's basically what I do too. I use the same chopstick trick, except I wait an extra minute for the oil to get extra hot, and then I add all the chicken at once. And ChatGPT says the double fry should last 30 seconds, which sounds about right, but you really have to use your eyes. Check that your chicken gets about 1 to 2 shades darker, and then you know it's ready. And when it does change the color, take them all out and let the chicken hang out on a wire rack. We're going to build the sauce now. On a clean pan, heat on medium-high and add 1 tablespoon of cooking oil. Wait for the oil to shimmer. Then add the dried chilies. Toss until it darkens. Should be about 10 to 15 seconds. Then add the garlic and ginger and white parts of the green onions. Stir for 10 to 15 seconds until fragrant. ChatGPT suggests adding an additional 1 teaspoon of chili paste, like donbanjang or sambal. I've made many different types of General Tso's chicken, but I have added chili oil in the past. But since this is optional, I'm just gonna leave it out. Deglaze the pan with Shaoxing wine. This is optional, but any chance I can use Chinese cooking wine, I do. Pour in the prepared sauce, stir, and cook until it thickens and turns glossy, about 30 seconds. Now add the fried chicken back into the sauce. And this is a quote from ChatGPT. Toss quickly over high heat. Coat evenly in the sauce while letting the wok flame kiss the edges. Now, there's the problem. 99% of the households in the US kitchens cannot replicate Chinese restaurant wok flames, okay? And that is something that only commercial restaurant kitchens can do. So do not worry about the wok flames. Just use high heat. Coat the chicken and let the sauce caramelize. Now finally, ChatGPT says garnish with chilies and toasted sesame seeds. The chilies I can go with, but sesame seeds I am doubtful. If you add that, you are going into sesame chicken territory. I'm just gonna top it off with some green onions on a bed of broccoli. After trying out ChatGPT General Tso's chicken recipe, it's got a lot of things right and a couple of things wrong. In the instructions, it is missing certain aspects of kitchen preparation that can only be learned through actual experience. ChatGPT's General Tso's chicken recipe doesn't overpromise, and it definitely doesn't underdeliver. This recipe does taste good, but you do have to bulk up the flavors in terms of sweetness and tanginess. For anyone who's never made General Tso's chicken, I think that it's a good baseline recipe to work from to make it your own. As always, I do make deliveries. I take Bitcoins and Camels as payment. See you all in the next one.